Now, the reason why I am making this video is because a lot of times when people are just realizing that they were in a narcissistic abuse relationship, whether it's family, romantically, or friends, they are running on high emotion and they're looking for some sort of answers of why they have been going through that with that particular person or persons. And because they are running off of those high emotions, it's really important to remind people that when you are looking for these life coaches or therapists or psychologists, that you try your best to get to know who they are, because a lot of times they themselves aren't mentally equipped to help others when they have a whole lot of chaos going on with them. So that's why I think it's important to bring light to this. Now, I'm not saying this about everyone, but it's still important to get to know who you are counseling with as much as possible, whether it's references, whether it is doing background checks, just anything, and really get to know as much as possible of that mental health counselor, therapist, psychologist, whatever, before you sign up to have sessions with them, and really learn as much as you can about that person, because you never really know who they are, because a lot of times they themselves have a lot of mental struggles.
The department put together an online initiative to address the sexual exploitation of children. The goal is to build up enough evidence against the predators so they can then move in and get them off the streets.
We have investigators who pose as minors and engage in conversations with online predators in an effort to develop cases against them.
One of the people accused of seeking underage sexual encounters is a 49-year-old school psychologist at Monroe High School.
Here's another example on how you should get to know as much as possible about that mental health worker. And personally, for me, I would even want to know what their temperament is like.
George Ramsey is a licensed professional counselor and a clinical substance abuse counselor with master's degrees in counseling and psychology, a PhD in theology, and according to family and friends, a high degree of integrity, responsibility, and ambition. By the time Ramsey applied for his first counseling license at the age of 46, he'd already accumulated some hefty baggage, including more than a dozen criminal arrests, at least 4 of which led to felony convictions, from strong-armed robbery in California at age 24 to escape from custody in Milwaukee at 35 and illegal possession of a gun at 43. Instead of flagging Ramsey as a potential serial rapist after 4 arrests in 5 years, the cases were filed away, and 4 years later, Ramsey filed an application to become a substance abuse counselor in training.
Should this person be in a position of trust?
So, there are several reasons why I put this video together. And the first reason is because I know of a narcissist that had came to me and was telling me about how she knows of 2 sisters that treat their mom horribly, and say the most wicked things to her. But that very same person who was like saying that to me herself says the most horrible, wicked things. I mean, she told her mother that she wished that she would die and she hopes that she dies and she can't wait for her to die. And this is an adult person. And so in my mind, I'm like baffled, because if that narcissist can see that behavior is wrong in other people, but yet can't see that behavior within themselves, then what would stop them from being able to be a psychiatrist, a therapist, a mental health life coach? I mean, because they would still be able to see everybody else's problems, but yet would be shielded of their own problems, where they can't see that they're just like all the other people that their clients are complaining about. And it just is just amazing to me that they're able to have that feature, if you want to call it that. And another thing, having a psychologist or a therapist or a mental health position is a coveted position that a narcissist would like, because narcissists love to be the police officers, the judges, the paramedics, the doctors, any type of high job authority, where you're getting that respect or you're seen as the hero. And church pastors, they love that high authority, because they just love control. They love to tell people what to do. And like I said, they like the accolades. They like everyone to tell them how great they are all the time. They always need that reassurance and to build them up, that they need that source. But who's to say that a lot of these mental health therapists aren't counseling people? And it is a very, I think it's a good question. And that's why it's very, very important to know who you're being counseled by. And I don't know if they can have references or you can study them. And anytime you ask a counselor to ask them questions that are get to know me questions, and they start looking at you funny, why are you asking questions? Why do you keep asking about myself and my ways? When they start acting funny like that, that's when you know that they're not the ones for you, because they should want you to ask questions and know their style and their counseling techniques and any other background things that they may have. And when you walk upright and you're always doing the right things, you shouldn't care. I don't care if somebody wants to know about me in my profession. You want to do a whatever to find references about me, that's fine, because I know that I'm doing things in an upright manner. Now, a lot of them be like, well, just go to my website and read my about page. I mean, all of those about pages are going to look nicely written. So it's just something to really consider. And about 12, 15 years ago, I went to go see a therapist. And when I went there, she was sitting in this lazy boy chair. And I'm just sitting there just telling her about all the things that my family have done me dirty on. And she didn't say the whole hour. She didn't say anything. It just looked like she just needed some popcorn or something, because all she did was just listen here. Now, I understand we all have our different techniques and stuff, but when you're paying $100 and something an hour, lady, you better say something, okay? You better give me some tools. You better ask me some questions. You need to engage and kind of help me. I mean, instead of just letting me talk for a whole hour, and then the next time I see you, I talk for a whole hour, and the next time I see you, I talk for a whole hour, and you're not telling me anything to get better, but yet I'm paying you $150 just for you to sit there in your little lazy boy chair, and you're not saying anything. So that's why you also need to get to know these people. I got one more story, y'all. One more story. I'll make it quick. So, during CV-19, I'm a massage therapist, And there was this huge chain store that wanted therapists from my company to come to that location of like a warehouse. And they also got life coach, mental health workers. So we were like contracted to be at this place. The therapist, the therapeutic therapist, and the mental health life coaches. We were both contracted by our companies to be in the warehouse for all their workers. It was a huge facility. And so they put all of us together. So the therapists and the mental life wellness health coaches, we were all in the same area. And let me tell you something. The way those ladies were talking, behaving, I would never want them to counsel me. I could not believe that this is their behavior, and yet they're going to tell you how to be a better person and tell other people to be better people when they're conducting themselves like a child. One lady came in with a beauty mask on, and she dyed her hair. So she's coming in the office at this place that we're contracted on. It's not like it's our place of work. We're being paid to be at their facility. She walks in with a beauty mask on, and she's in the process of dyeing her hair. And I was like, what in the world? It was her mindset, her thought process. Like, what told you that was okay? And they didn't even fire her because she was bilingual, and so they're really short on people speaking both languages. But still, man. So I don't know. So I'd be really, really picky, y'all. Just keep that in mind, and just don't let anybody counsel you, especially when you're paying all that money. Get to know people first. That's just my little 2 cents. Thanks for watching.